Hi guys, it's Maddie and welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I wanted to go over 21 lessons I learned in 2021. This is going to be more of a comfy, cozy, chatty kind of vlog. I have my Christmas sweater. Happy birthday, Jesus. I have a coffee that's very, very full and very, very hot still. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of chit chat, do a little year brief, a year in review type situation. But I just have the list written out on my laptop. So without further ado, let's just get right into the video. So some of these are kind of obvious, but they just really had a big impact on me this year. So the first lesson I learned is that gossiping does not make you feel better. Towards the middle of this year, I was a very hurt person. I was hurting a lot and hurt people, hurt other people. So I definitely partook in a bit of gossiping, which I am not proud of. And I had a really hard lesson to learn about not necessarily talking bad behind people's back, but just talking about people when they're not around or not in the best manner. So that was a hard lesson I had to learn, and it definitely hit me, and I have grown and learned a lot from that lesson. The second is I need to make myself a priority. Another saying, you can't fill someone else's cup when yours is empty, something along those lines. But I realized that if I'm miserable, I am going to make the people around me miserable too. So I need to really prioritize myself, my happiness, my well-being, and it's okay to make me a priority. Number 3 is just taking things one day at a time and not being in a rush. Nothing essentially has a deadline. There are stuff that have a due date or whatever, but I mean day-to-day things, I don't need to be in a rush. I don't need to rush through everything. So I've been really reminding myself just to take a breath, be in the moment, stay present, and that every day will come to an end. So I should just really be appreciative of the time that I'm in. And one thing that I really notice is people rush through meals and rush through eating, and I really want to slow down and enjoy my time eating, enjoy the people I'm with, even if I'm just by myself too. But enjoy the conversations that are happening and just really enjoying and appreciating each moment I'm in. Number 4 is that I am capable of more things than I give myself credit for. This really stood out to me at the gym. I always just kind of undermined my abilities and thought, oh, I'm not strong enough to do this. I'm not fit enough to run this many miles or lift this amount of weight. But that was really holding me back. My mindset definitely hindered my abilities at the gym. So I'm just really trying to push myself in different aspects, even my personality, sticking up for myself. I am capable of doing that. I am capable of communicating my needs and wants. So I should take full advantage of that. Number 5 is that lists are my best friends, whether this being a to-do list, a planner, being monthly, weekly, or daily. Those are my best friends, and I need to utilize those in every aspect of my life that I can. I can be pretty scatterbrained and get overwhelmed pretty easily. So these allow me to kind of narrow down my thoughts and kind of streamline them a little bit better and highlight the important tasks I need to do that day. So it just really allows myself to physically be able to see it written down on a piece of paper instead of trying to remember it all in my head and keep it straight. I am also a big paper and pen person. I don't super love my organizing on devices like an iPad, Google Chrome. Chrome Calendar is actually pretty good. Google Calendar, whatever you want to call it. I do like my Google Calendar because I can color code things, so that's helpful. But I just like being able to flip through pages and handwriting stuff. I find that works best for myself. Number 6 is reading is so valuable, and I have definitely taken it for granted. There was quite a long time, like a span of a few years, that I went without reading, and just within the last few months I started trying to get back into it, and I have missed reading so much. I have noticed a big change in the way I speak after like reading. It allows me to expose myself to better and more proper language rather than like scrolling on social media and seeing like a whole bunch of slang. And also just like the stories and creating the scenes in your head and how you think each character or scene looks, definitely has allowed me to be a more creative person as well. And it's just an escape from reality. Like, I do enjoy watching YouTube and Netflix, but I don't want to spend my life in front of a screen, and reading is so timeless. Books never die, essentially. So and there's so many different books and genres, and something about reading a book is just so satisfying to me. A book and a nice cup of coffee is how I enjoy starting my mornings now. Number 7, some friendships don't last forever, and I've just recently been coming to terms with this. I'm not as close with some of my childhood friends as I thought I would be. Like, friendships have kind of come and gone, and that's okay, because what's the saying? Some friends are friends for a season, others are friends for a reason, I think. But just like kind of looking back at my life and like different times and different points in my life where I was super close with them, it is a little bit sad. But everything happens for a reason, and I am in the spot that I'm supposed to be, and I'm still in contact with these people, but we're just not as close. And this could be for like a number of different reasons, but I'm also trying to make more of an effort of staying in contact and maybe kind of rekindling those friendships, because I do miss a lot of the people and they were huge parts of my life. But also at the same time, I do have to come to terms with the fact that people change, situations change, and not everything is meant to last for forever. Number 8 is building long-term good habits is hard work. I don't know where I got the idea that I thought this was going to be easy, but it's definitely not. Building habits takes a lot of self-discipline, self-compassion, and consistency, which is key that I have found and noticed. Number 9 is that I'm a huge people pleaser, and I'm trying not to be this way. This kind of goes back to my earlier point about making myself a priority. I can't do both, so I might have to say no to some situations, and that might make people upset, but I need to make myself a priority and stop people pleasing, because I'm the most important person in my life. This kind of goes back to the earlier point, but number 10 is I don't need outside approval. For a while there, I was in a really bad habit of constantly Googling situations about myself. Like, is it normal to do this? Is it okay if I do that? Should I be doing this? And I really want to stray away from that, because nobody can tell you how to live your life. Something might have worked for one person, but that doesn't mean it's going to work for myself. So I need to stop resorting to Google and other people for them to approve of what I'm doing. And I just need to trust myself and my intuition and believe that I am on the right path and doing what is best for me. Number 12 is that my mom is my biggest supporter. Earlier in this year, I went through a really bad breakup, and it was super, super tough on me, but my mom was there with me through it all, and I'm really appreciative of her. And just within the last half of the year, I'm really upset with myself that it took me this long to realize and notice this, but my mom is always there. She always puts us first. So I just want to make more of an effort to show my love and appreciation for her, because I feel like that can go unnoticed really easily, and moms do so much. Like, I really truly think I know for a fact she is the glue of this family. She keeps us all together. She keeps us all sane. So I just am really upset that it took me this long, but my mom is my biggest supporter, and she is always in my corner and always has my back. I can't remember if I said that was 11 or 12, but that was 11. So this is 12. Number 12 is that it's okay that I don't know every aspect of myself, and I'm not making myself fit into a little box. This is just like, there's so many different like facets to myself. I have so many different aspects of my life, different, not versions of myself, but there is a lot of different aspects and skills that compile me and make me me. So I don't need to be able to fit myself into a certain category. It's okay if I like go back and forth and kind of just flow, and I'm allowed to change. I am allowed to grow and develop into new characteristics and into a new person. Number 13 is that nobody owes me closure or an explanation, and I in turn don't owe that to anyone else. The breakup that I went through earlier this year, I didn't really get the closure that I think I deserved, but I don't deserve that. That person is living his own life separate from me. He made that decision, and I just need to be okay with that fact, and that I don't need to have the answers to everything. And sometimes it's just how life is, and I can't control that, and I am learning to become more okay with that. Number 14 is kind of a random one, but I actually enjoy cleaning. Growing up, I feel like cleaning was always a punishment and that it was a chore and I had to do it. So I just always led myself to believe that I didn't enjoy it and that I would always clean out of like anger and spite. But I actually really enjoy cleaning. It's time to myself, just me and my own thoughts, put on a podcast, some music, and I am just in my zone, in my element, so happy. Number 15 is that time blocking is very effective for me. When I don't time block, I feel very scatterbrained, and that I don't have as much time as I actually do, that I need to cram and try and get everything done as soon as possible and as fast as I can. Whereas time blocking, it allows me to kind of feel like I'm opening up my day a little bit more and giving myself more hours, because I can physically see how long it's going to take me to do each task, and where I have gaps in my day that I can fill it with other random miscellaneous tasks. Number 16 is that change is uncomfortable. I have been going through a lot of changes in my life, like good and bad. A lot of personal growth and development and self-discovery and recognition, and it is an uncomfortable process, let me tell you. I am going way out of my comfort zone, exploring different internal parts of me that I didn't even know existed, and bringing up some of those memories and like past events or trauma is very uncomfortable, and it just makes me feel weird. I can't really describe it, but I guess, yeah, just feeling weird and awkward. But I know this is for the greater good because I can see the change. It is very evident in my personality, who I am, my beliefs, my morals now. But it is an uncomfortable process. I have lost contact with some friends. I have been put in situations where I need to make a tough decision, whether it be like benefiting myself or one of my close friends. It's just very uncomfortable, and it is a whole new journey and situation that I've never been in before, but I know that's how I can tell that I'm changing, is because I am uncomfortable, because it's all new, and I'm excited. I like the uncomfortable now. Number 17 is that you don't have to be perfect at something to enjoy it. Like YouTube, for example, I was always kind of led to believe that I didn't want to tell people in my life until I had like a certain amount of subscribers, because I didn't feel that I should be doing this unless I'm really good at it. And that's the same with like sports too. Like, you don't have to be good at that activity to enjoy it. Like, I'm not very good at painting or knitting, but I really enjoy those two. And like YouTube, I don't have a very big following, but I enjoy making the videos. So I'm going to do it for myself, and just because I like it and it makes me happy. And you deserve to have those hobbies that maybe the outside society might think that you're kind of crazy for doing it because you're not good, you're not perfect at it, so why do it? But how are you supposed to get better and get good or perfect at something if you don't try? Like, everyone starts somewhere. So have some more compassion for yourself. And like dancing, I am very bad at dancing, but I enjoy it. I get a good sweat on. It makes me happy. It lifts my mood. So I'm going to keep doing it. And some people might think I'm terrible. I know I'm not the greatest, but I'm going to do it because it brings joy and just like lifts my mood. Number 18 is that there is no such thing as a perfect timing. Everyone has their own timeline for their life. You can't expect yourself to be the same cookie cutter as other people that you see. You don't know everything that they have gone through either. So it's hard to hold yourself, and unfair, quite frankly, to hold yourself to those standards and expect yourself to be able to accomplish certain tasks on the same timeline that the other people did. You're your own self. Enjoy the journey. Don't take it for granted and just be very present. Number 19 is that I am not responsible for other people's reactions to my actions. And that is like within like certain guidelines. Like it has to be reasonable. If I'm doing something for myself and somebody doesn't like that, I'm not responsible for that. But obviously if I do something to like hurt another person, then I'm kind of responsible. But in the grand scheme of things, like neutral, seemingly positive things, I'm not responsible for how the other person reacts. I think a good example of this is that, so say I'm not scheduled to work, but my boss asks me to pick up a shift. And if I have something else going on or just need like a mental health day, I'm allowed to say no. Like I am not obligated to say yes to picking up that shift. And if my boss, she would never do this, but if she gets really upset and angry with me, that is not my fault. I am not responsible for how she feels. I am looking out for myself, and it's just not my responsibility. Number 20 is I get to choose who I have into my life and who I let into my circle and who I put my energy towards. And I'm trying to be more mindful of that, only giving out my energy towards people who are going to reciprocate it and give me the same energy back. I am kind of done wasting my time on these like filler, fluffy friendships, relationships. I have grown too much for this, and I just only want meaningful, deep, emotional connections. Not saying like it's a bad thing to have those friends, and I definitely do still have that friend group who it's like fun to go out for drinks with or get together for fun, but I'm not going to necessarily prioritize those relationships over my more like deep and meaningful ones. And the last one, and kind of the biggest shocker for me, is that I think I don't actually like alcohol that much. I went through a really big phase in college where I feel like most college students do, of going out and drinking, going to the bars, getting drunk, obliterated. And it just gives me a lot of anxiety looking back on it, especially the different situations that I was putting myself in. And I just don't really like who I become when I drink. For a while, I was having a really hard time like controlling myself. So I just took a step away from it for like a couple months and got sober. And that was actually probably one of the best times of my life because I felt like I had a lot more mental clarity, more passion towards things, more energy doing like to do tasks, and I never got the hangovers or like and also my health too. Like I'm on a health journey right now and a fitness journey. And alcohol really does hinder that and kind of throws it off and might set me back and kind of slow my progress a little bit is what I'm getting at. So I think I'm just going to take some time away from alcohol longer. I don't know how long, maybe forever, maybe only like a couple months. But yeah, for right now, I'm just done drinking and don't really need it. And it doesn't serve a great purpose in my life right now. And I am more than okay with that. Anyways, that was a pretty long and chatty video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it, and maybe you also learned some of the same lessons that I did. And if you did, leave them down below in the comments. I'd love to chat more about it there. But I hope you enjoyed this video and have a Merry Christmas if you celebrate, or Happy Holidays. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.